Hello, hope y'all are all doing well. It's October 10th. Today I'm back. So today I'm going to be talking about, pretty much, I'm going to be talking about Julia, tropical storm, former tropical storm Julia, but now it's a tropical depression. And then I'm going to be talking about, late next week. It's looking like everything will start to get a little more active, towards the middle to the end of this week. So we're going to be talking about that for a little bit. This video should not be too long. I'll try to keep it a little short. Oh yeah, sorry if I talk a little quiet. My throat hurts pretty bad. Uh, so yeah, we can see tropical depression Julia right there over Guatemala. Uh, it's gonna be staying kind of over Guatemala, bringing a lot of rain for the next pretty much day. We can see wind history. It was a hurricane right before it made landfall, but the wind hasn't been the biggest threat with this, or the biggest problem. The wind has been, or the rain has also been a pretty significant problem. We've seen a lot of flooding across a lot of that area, which has really been the main problem with this, as well as the wind, especially on the coast. But yeah, so looking at the models, so excuse me, it's looking like this is Tuesday into Wednesday. We can see we have a low up in Canada. This is the storm system that it's a lot of there hasn't been a lot of consistency with, but now we're starting to get that consistency. And we can see have a cold front stretched down across the uh, central part of the country, and then heads east into Wednesday. We can see a lot of wind with this, especially, but we can see a good bit of rain across some areas, and even into the southeast. Could be seen like a very like low end severe weather threat in some areas, but yeah, and we can see a lot of rain. Not a lot, but a good bit of rain, especially as we get into the northeast. So see a lot more moisture, and we see a lot more heavy rain, along with a lot of wind. Uh, with that front, and then more cold air in the backside. But then what we see is another low kind of come off of this, bringing even more cold air down to the east and to the southeast as well. This is going to be, we're going to talk about these cold fronts in a second. But I want to get like, let's just talk about the storm system for now. Yeah, so the GFS, we can see we might even be seeing a little bit of snow across northern Minnesota on the backside of this by like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, especially Thursday and Friday. Some snow in Minnesota, UP in Michigan, and northern Wisconsin. And once again, a lot of wind in the northeast with a lot of rain. Luckily, the storm system, or the front, will be moving pretty quick as the storm system kind of gets brought around to the, like it just. I mean, these kind of just rotate around themselves, which is pretty cool. And we can see that other system. But the GFS doesn't have as much cold air behind that on Tuesday and Wednesday, so that's what we're gonna talk about now. So I mean, pretty much what it's looking like is we're gonna see our first fall storm system kind of go from the central to the eastern part of the country. With that, we're going to be seeing a good bit of rain in some areas, maybe even a low-end severe weather threat in the southeast. Or not really, just the southeast, just pretty much the south. I will take a look at that on the GFS here. Yeah, and we can see we have a little bit of instability indicated. I'd say the biggest threat will probably be across Mississippi, Alabama, maybe Louisiana. As of right now, we're not going to go too far into it since this is still a couple days out, but we could be seeing that. Let me see, does the SPC have anything? Okay, we do have a large marginal, but further to the north than I expected. Okay, I haven't even looked at the SPC because we haven't had anything in so long. But, okay, yeah, so we have a large marginal. I'm assuming that's probably for wind. Yeah, so definitely for wind, okay. Yeah, so a little further north, I guess they're going off of where, not just probably more off of like dynamics. You can see also, I mean, even without the potential for like severe weather, the wind is still going to be significant, or it's still going to be a problem across this area. As we're going to still be seeing some pretty significant, not like significant wind, but some pretty gusty winds, especially as we head into the north, as this goes into the northeast. So yeah, I mean, right now it looks like severe weather wise, wind will be the biggest threat, as well as, I mean, probably mainly just wind. Hail and tornado threat. The hail and the tornado threat will probably be. It's going to be pretty low. Um, Temperature wise, so this is what I wanted to talk about because the GFS and the Euro are very different. So we can see by Saturday. Friday is a pretty cool day across the east. We can see like 60s along the coast, uh, mid-Atlantic all the way down into the southeast. Here's some 60s and 70s, 50s, into like areas of Ohio, PA. The southern plains is still very warm. Saturday we can see warms up. Sunday even warmer in the east. But then by Tuesday, we have that other system right here. We can see we have more cold air getting pushed down from Canada, and we even have 40s in the northeast, probably due to rain. But in most areas, we have 50s, some 40s across Wisconsin, Michigan. Then in the southeast, we can see 60s across most areas. So pretty cool for October. About 5-10 degrees below average. Even into Florida, where 80s in central and southern Florida. And then Wednesday morning, the GFS is multiple areas below freezing, as well as even some 30s as you head into the southeast. So yeah, that's pretty cold for October. Looking at the European, Friday is a little bit more. That first cold front's not as significant. That's something that the first one's not, but then the second one's a lot more significant. We can see Monday afternoon, temperatures are in the 30s across the northern plains, into really upper Midwest area. 60s in the southeast. We can clearly see that cold front getting pushed down. Yes, 80s in southern Georgia, 59 in Huntsville. So a lot more cold in the GFS, and also Thursday morning, many areas are in the 30s across like northern Alabama, northern Georgia, South Carolina. Not in South Carolina really, but mainly 40s across most of the state, but 30s in upstate South Carolina. But the main difference is the highs. These are the high temperatures on Tuesday on the European. I want to lock it here, but yeah, 40s all the way down into like Kentucky, even Tennessee. 50s across the southeast. 54 in Atlanta, 56 in Columbia, and even all the way into like the southern, all the way into Texas. 50s, 44 in Amarillo, 49 in Lubbock. But then we go over to the GFS, and it's in the 70s in that area. So that's a lot of that's very not consistent at all. So really the cold air in this area is pretty uncertain at this point. But what is really the same on both these models is, but pretty much this area here will be a lot colder, or we'll be getting a pretty big cool down. It's like for the beginning of next week. But how far really west we see that able to make it, or like able to get, and that kind of. But the Euro, we see that front's a lot further. It stretches much further to the west. And also something that could help to bring cooler temperatures is that storm system in Texas right there. That rain can help to keep it cool during the day, which the GFS just doesn't have it as far north. So we'll see what the GFS switches to having that across or having that kind of in Texas. That'll keep it cooler. That'll keep it a lot cooler in Texas, on like Monday or on Tuesday especially there. But so right now the European is a lot colder for that second cold front as we go into next week. In the east, much cooler. The GFS is a lot warmer, and also doesn't have really the central plains getting in on much. Not the central plains. Like the entire central area, the central, just the general plains. I'll just use that word there. But so a lot is coming together with this. There's a lot more that's known now about this, but this is looking like this is gonna be our like first fall like storm system. We're gonna be seeing severe weather, a lot of rain, a lot of wind, and even a little bit of snow, potentially across like uh maybe this area. Not really like uh, not really like accumulating snowfall, not like consistent snowfall, mainly just snow showers. Probably a little too warm for accumulation as well, but we'll see what I or like what happens. We can get some higher resolution models as we get closer to that event. Uh, but yeah, thank you for watching the video. Hopefully that was a little shorter. But yeah, I appreciate you watching. I will probably be back tomorrow. Uh, but yeah, thank you. I hope you all have an excellent rest of your Monday. But yes, goodbye.